神的平安与你们同在。
So in the name of Jesus Christ, we continue to study the parable of our Lord Jesus Christ.
奉主耶稣圣名，我们要继续学习主耶稣的比喻。
We know parables are a mystery of the kingdom of God.
我们知道这些比喻都是神国的奥秘。
And for us to understand this mystery, God must reveal it to us.
那如果我们需要了解这些奥秘，神就需要显现给我们。
So that's why after we study these parables together, you and I should understand more pertaining to the kingdom of God.
所以在我们学过这些比喻以后，我们都应该更了解神的国度。
Let's turn to Luke chapter 12, verse 1 to verse 3.
请看路加福音12章。
Luke chapter 12, verse 1 to verse 3.
路加福音12章第1节到第3节。
So here, Lord Jesus Christ said, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisee, which is hypocrisy."
12章第1节，主耶稣就先说：“你们要防备法利赛人的酵，就是假冒为善。”
You know, so far, Lord Jesus Christ say, "Beware, beware, beware."
主耶稣他这时候就一直说：“你们要防备。”
But we also need to beware of ourselves also.
可是我们要防备自己。
Make sure you and I do not become, a person who preaching false doctrine.
我们要确认我们自己是没有传到这种假的道理。
And make sure we're not the person, full of hypocrisy.
还有要确认好我们自己也不是假冒为善。
Why? Because in verse 2 here it says, "For there's nothing covered that will not be revealed."
因为第2节说，掩盖的事没有不露出来的，
There's nothing hidden that will not be known.
隐藏的事没有不被人知道的。
Therefore, in verse 3, whatever you have spoken in the dark will be heard in the light.
第3节，因此你们在暗中所说的，将要在明处被人听见。
So when we think, what is the definition of hypocrisy?
所以，如果我们想想看，假冒为善的定义是什么？
And say here, the practice of claiming to have moral standards or beliefs to which one's own behavior does not conform or a pretense.
就是当一个人他假装他有自己的道理，然后自己的信仰。
So in other words, that you and I, must be very careful.
所以我们都每一位需要非常小心。
Because leaven is like hypocrisy.
因为这个酵就是假冒为善。
Yes, we claim that we are the true church of God.
所以，如果我们说我们就是神的真教会，
Do we practice what is true?
我们有真正行出真正的吗？
We claim we're the only one that can be saved by God.
我们说我们是唯一神能够拯救的。
But do we practice the things that will save us in the end days?
可是我们在每天行出的，是不是这种到时候末日都会被拯救的？
I think in our church,
我觉得在我们教会当中，
even though outwardly we really don't practice hypocrisy,
虽然说在外表看起来可能我们不是假冒为善，
but I think in our private life,
可是在我们的私生活当中，
and that's one thing that the younger people complain the most.
尤其很多时候年轻人可能会抱怨，
Because sometimes they feel that their parents, they are hypocrites.
因为他们觉得他们的父母就是假冒为善。
So when they come to church, they pray to God, they read the scripture, they're nice to everybody.
他们来教会的时候都会读经，然后对每个人都很友善。
But they're at home, they're always fighting one another and swearing and cursing and things like that.
可是，在家里面常常争吵，或者甚至骂脏话都有。
And so because of this, a lot of young people, they, have lose their faith.
所以因为这样，所以很多年轻人他们就会失去信仰。
Why? Because they feel their parents act one way at church and one way at home.
因为他们觉得他们的父母在教会是一回事，在家里面是另外一回事。
Of course, you and I should not be like this.
当然，你我都不应该这样子。
No, we have to try our best to live our life before Christ. It doesn't matter where we are.
我们一定要尽力的活出主耶稣的样式，不管我们在哪里。
Why? Because the minute that you and I, practice or don't practice what we preach, then we become a hypocrite.
因为当你和我们行出已经不是像主耶稣的样式的时候，已经变成假冒为善了。
I think being a pastor, this is one of the most difficult things to do when I'm at home.
我觉得做传道来讲，这是我在家里面最难做到的。
Because my family, they're looking at me as being a pastor.
因为我的家庭他们也会看着我，知道我是传道。
And sometimes they feel that pastors have no weaknesses.
他们有时候就觉得传道都没有缺点。
So when I'm at home, I really have to behave very well.
所以我在家的时候，我也需要态度都是很好的。
And whatever I preach on the pulpit, my wife will remind me at home, do you practice it? You do not preach anything on the pulpit if you cannot practice it.
那当我在讲道的时候，我太太也都会跟我，在下来讲道以后， 我太太都会要提醒我说，一定要你是不是有在讲道的时候，那你平常也都有行道。
Pastor Ye and I were roommate this time during the student spiritual convocation.
我们这次在学生联会的时候，叶传道跟我们是在同一间房间。
And we shared how, when our wives is in the audience, every time we speak, we tremble, right? Because our wife know us the best.
然后每一次我们都会谈到说，如果是我们的太太有坐在座位上，当我们在讲道的时候，那我们都会很紧张，因为我们的太太都最了解我们。
And whatever we preach, we must be able to preach the things that we can practice at home.
那我们在讲道的时候所传出来的话，一定要在家里面也做到。
So make sure that you and I do not allow these yeast to be inside our heart.
所以我们一定要确认好，你和我们的都不能有这个笑在心里面。
If you look at the whole world nowadays,
如果我们看世界，
everything is a cover-up. Everything is like a hypocrisy.
世界上所有东西都是假冒伪善的。
Everything is like a pretense. Some things that pretending, but people are pretending all over the place.
很多的事情都是在假装的，很多人都是在假装。
So now there's nothing real anymore.
所以剩下已经没有真正的东西了，
Nothing is true anymore.
已经没有真理了。
But you and I must change that kind of concept.
可是你跟我们一定要改变这些
Because the
道
God
理，
we worship is a true and living God.
因为我们敬拜的神是真正活生生的神。
And what you and I have studied and read, we should practice in our lives.
那还有我们已经读过的、学习到的，我们也要在生活当中行出来。
But of course, it's not easy.
可是当然这不容易。
Now let's turn to 1 Corinthians.
请看哥林多前书，
1 Corinthians chapter 5.
哥林多前书第5章，
1 Corinthians chapter 5.
哥林多前书第5章，
1 Corinthians chapter 5, let's start from verse 1 and 2 first.
第1节到第2节，
Verse 1 and 2.
第1节到第2节。
Yes. It is actually reported there is sexual immorality among you, and such sexual immorality is as is not even named among the Gentile, that a man has his father's wife.
第1节，风闻在你们中间有淫乱的事，这样的淫乱连外邦人中也没有，就是有人收了他的继母。
So here, actually, Paul talking about 11 is a sexual sin.
这里保罗谈到笑就是淫乱的罪。
I mean, here the members they commit such acts of sexual immorality, even is not named among the Gentile.
他们这里的信徒有犯了淫乱的罪，是连外邦人都没有。
And and that's why if we don't stop this kind of yeast now, it will spread all over the place.
所以如果这种笑不停止的话，那到处会散播。
Actually, if we think about sexual sin, it's very contagious.
如果我们想到淫乱这种罪的话，其实很容易传染。
I talked to some young people,
我可能有跟一些年轻人谈到，
and they have fornicate already,
他们可能已经犯了淫乱的罪，
but they're still coming to church.
可是还是有来教会。
And their friends also know that that they already commit fornication.
那他们的朋友也知道他们已经犯了淫乱的罪。
But when they look at the young brother, sister, why they still come to church?
那可是他们看到这些年轻的弟兄姐妹，为什么他们还是来教会呢？
And if that's the case, it seems God does not really do too much if you commit this kind of sin.
那如果是这样子，好像感觉是神对这些罪都忽略了。
So the young people feel maybe it's okay to commit this kind of sin.
所以年轻人就会觉得，如果那这样子的话，犯下这种淫乱的罪是没有问题的。
Of course, if we have this kind of mentality,
可是当然，如果我们是有这样的想法，
then this sin actually will spread throughout the whole church.
那这种罪其实是会传染到整个教会。
So that's why you and I must be very careful
所以这就是为什么你们跟我们都需要非常小心，
what we do in our lives.
我们在生活上所做的。
And then the second part is in verse 2.
还有第2
Verse
节
2，
第2节。
And you are puffed up and have not rather mourned that he who has done this deed might be taken away from among you.
第2节，你们还是自高自大，并不哀痛，把行这事的人从你们中间赶出去。
This kind of sin it should be frowned upon, but instead they are very proud. They are puffed up with it.
这种罪是非常羞耻的，可是这些人居然还自高自大。
And it seems nowadays this is a trend among the younger generation.
那这种的现象，其实在今天的年轻的一代
And
已经有在
sometimes
出
they
现。
brag, how many people they've been with.
他们有时候甚至还会夸口说他们有跟几个人在一起过。
And this is not a good thing inside a church.
这个在我们教会里面绝对不是好事。
Because instead of repenting, they go and be proud of what the sin they have committed.
因为他们不止没有悔改，而且居然还为这种事夸口。
And this something is very dangerous and it can spread very quickly inside a church.
那这种事情是非常的危险，而且也可能会在教会传出。
And then the third thing is, let's go to verse 8.
第8节，
Verse 8.
第8节，
Verse 8 said, Therefore let us keep the feast not with old leaven, nor with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and of truth.
第8节，所以我们守这节，不可用旧笑，也不可用恶毒邪恶的笑，只用诚实真正的无笑饼。
So here, a leaven is also is malice and wickedness.
所以这里笑也是恶毒邪恶。
And this thing is very serious in our church.
这是在我们教会很严重的事。
No, because this malice and wickedness, even though outwardly sometimes we cannot tell.
因为这种恶毒或者邪恶，可能在外表看不出来。
For example, if a brother and sister go around talking bad, about our other brothers and sisters.
比如说，如果有一个弟兄跟一个姐妹，他们又开始说别人的坏话，
Why do they talk, evil of other brothers and sisters?
那为什么他们要说别人的坏话？
Because they are wicked inside their heart,
因为他们心里面已经恶毒
and they're
了，
not willing to stop doing it.
那他们也不愿意停止。
And this kind of stuff actually is spread throughout, the whole congregation.
那其实是整个会众都已经这样子散播了。
And I myself caught in this kind of situation too.
那我自己也曾经有在这种情况下，
I know when I first moved to Dallas,
当我刚搬到达拉斯，
there's words going on around about me that the reason why I'm so devout to the GA because I'm afraid I'm not going to get paid.
就有谣言说我会那么害怕美国总会，就是因为我很害怕我不会拿到薪水。
And this something is so strange to me.
那这种事对我来讲很奇怪。
I mean, if I want to make money, if I want to, to focus on money, of course, I'm not going to become a pastor.
如果我是要看重薪水的话，那我就不会成为传道。
So, but this is the words going around. They say, I'm so obedient to the GA because I'm afraid I'm not going to get paid. Like, where do you get this concept from?
那所以那种谣言，当我听到的时候，我就觉得很奇怪，想说他们这种想法到底是哪里来的？
But thank God, a lot of members they do not believe, in that kind of saying.
可是感谢神，有很多信徒他们也不相信这
Of
种
course,
谣
they
言。
came up and talked to me like, some members say this about you, that about you. Is it true or not? I'm like, you judge for yourself.
像有的弟兄姐妹就直接就有过来问我，那就是说这是不是真的？那我也就回答就说，那你们自己也就可以想。
Until this day, I don't even know how much I get paid from the GA. I never, wonder how much I get paid.
因为其实到今天我根本都不知道我的薪水到底是从总会拿的是多少。
all these things. The members know me well. Those who know me well, they know. Money is really nothing to me.
那如果跟我比较熟的信徒的话，也都知道，其实对我来讲，金钱真的不重要。
But of course, those who do not know me, they might go and say this kind of thing.
可是如果不认识我，跟我不熟悉的话，可能就会这样子传谣
It's
言
not。only happened to me, but also happened to many other brothers and sisters.
那不只是发生在我身上，还有其他弟兄姐妹。
But really, this is Satan's work
可是这是撒旦在做工，
to divide our brothers and sisters.
就是要让我们的弟兄姐妹分散。
So that's why you and I should not, allow this kind of leaven, right, to spread throughout the whole church.
所以我们绝对不能允许这种的笑在教会当中传播出来。
If someone is very negative, if someone says something bad about other brother and sister, you have to tell them, hey, stop doing that kind of thing.
如果有的人是常在说非常负面的话，一定要告诉这个弟兄或姐妹要停止。
If we just sit there and listen to them,
如果我们就坐在那里听他
and if
们，
we don't say anything,
然后什么都不
then
说，
that brethren, they think that it's okay to say this all kind of thing.
那位弟兄姐妹可能就觉得他可以这样子说这些话。
So that's why this kind of malice, this kind of wickedness, you and I must stop, among us. Why? Because if we don't do it, it will spread everywhere.
所以这种恶毒、这种邪恶的笑的话，一定要停止，要不然的话，这种笑会散播。
In Dallas, there's a Korean Bible study, there's an English Bible study, and a Chinese Bible study.
在达拉斯有韩文查经、中文查经和英文查经。
There's not too many of us.
我们其实人不多，
But one day the Chinese Bible study just stopped. It discontinued.
有一天中文的查经就停止了。
And we say, why? What happened?
然后我们就想说，为什么？
And they say every time they get together, instead of studying the Bible, they always fight and argue.
然后他们就说，因为每一次要查经的时候，就开始纷争吵架，
Why? Because there's too many gossiping going around.
因为有太多人在说八卦。
No, because of this, and then, because of this, and then they cannot get along with one another.
那因为这样子，所以他们就没有办法好好相处。
And even at one point you hear that, the Korean members, for example, people just talking things that it's really ruined the church.
那甚至说，可能是韩国裔的信徒的话，也会开始互相说谣言或者说八卦，
They say,
所
the
以不
Korean
好。
members, they never give tithes.
比如说他们还会说，韩国裔的信徒
I mean, how
从
do
来
they
不
know these things?
十一奉献，可是他们怎么会知道？
And they go around telling people, Korean members don't give tithes and they all this and that, but actually that's completely false.
他们可能就会说，韩国裔的那些信徒都不会十一奉献，可是这完全不是真正的。
But some members who believe this kind of saying, then they look at the Korean members, with a different eye.
那有的信徒如果相信这种话，他们就会看韩国裔的信徒就用
But
不同的
actually,
眼光。
truthfully, actually, Korean members are the most faithful. They the one to donate the most tithes, and that is the truth.
其实说实话的话，这些韩国裔的信徒其实是最有爱心，而且十一奉献最多的。
But either way, we should not even say, Korean members donate so much money. This member donate. No, that's not edifying anyone.
可是不管怎么样，我们也不应该随便说韩国裔或者任何人可能有没有十一奉献，因为这不是造就的话。
But you and I have to be very careful, even among us here in New Jersey.
那我们在这里新泽西的话，其实也要非常小心。
Anything that's not edifying, we should just keep it to ourselves.
如果有任何不造就的话，我们就不需要说。
And really, the best way to measure that,
还有，这最好的衡量方式
if，you want to talk about a person,
如果要跟一个人说话，
pretend that person is right next to you.
那如果你要讲到那个人的话，就假装那个人真正在那里。
If you be able to say, to another person anything about that person, and they are there next to you, if you be able to say it, then it's good, it's fine.
如果那个人真正他就站在那里，你愿意对他面前说出这些同样的话的话，那就没关系。
But if you pretend they're next to you, then all the things that you say, you cannot say it, and then of course that's not good.
那如果你假装他在你旁边那里，可是如果真正他出现的话，你却不敢说出这些话，那就不要再说这些话了。
So that's why we read verse 6 and verse 8. Next slide, please.
第6节和第8节，
1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 6, verse 8.
哥林多前书第1章第5
Say, your glorying is not good. Do you not know that a little leaven leavens the whole lump?
第5章第6节，你们这自夸是不好的，岂不知一点面笑能使全团发起来吗？
And sometimes these little things, it doesn't seem to be a big deal, but actually is a leaven. It will leaven the whole lump. It doesn't matter how small it is.
有时候小事情感觉非常小，就像一点面笑很小。
So what should you and I do?
那我们要怎么办？
And verse 7 said, therefore purge out this old leaven,
第7节，应当把旧酵除尽，
that you may be a new lump,
好使你们成为新团。
since you are truly unleavened, for indeed Christ our Passover was sacrificed for us.
你们既是无效的团，因为我们逾越节的羔羊基督已经被杀献祭了。
So what is our motivation?
所以我们的动机是什么？
Our motivation that actually the reason why we should not say or do any kind of these things, because Christ died for us, shed his blood for us.
我们的动机就应该就是不管怎么样，我们都已经知道主耶稣已经为我们死，而且为我们献出他的宝血了。
So we should stop talking about all these things that's very negative.
我们就要停止说这些负面的话。
All these things that that cause division among brothers and sisters.
所有这些会导致纷争的。
Because it's already difficult enough to fight against Satan. Now Satan make us fighting against one another.
因为要与撒旦征战已经够困难了，可是撒旦现在会想要让我们互相征战。
Now the true secret I shared with you earlier, he's from Cameroon, Africa.
我之前就有分享，有一个慕道朋友，他是从非洲的一个国家来的。
Right now there's a big civil war between the French and the local people.
在他那里的国家，他们现在有内战。
But the saddest thing is that the true secret statement, the saddest thing is not that we are fighting against the French.
可是那个慕道友他说，其实最可怜的事情不是说他们要跟法国人征战，
But the French is using their people to fight one another, to fight against one another.
可是法国人居然会利用他们的那些人民来互相征战。
Why? Because the French divided the people to take sides, so then now they're just killing one another, and the French not doing anything.
因为法国人就会让这些非洲国家他们自己的人这样子互相征战，那法国人自己就都不需要打仗。
Of course, Satan want to do exactly the same thing with us.
撒旦也是要利用同样的方式
But we
对
must
付我们。
purge out all this leaven, take it out, and don't talk about it, and don't don't spread it everywhere, and all these things will cause a lot of problems.
所以我们一定要除去这些所有的面效，因为这些面效只会导致更多问题。
For me, one of the things that is difficult is that because I know a lot of stories from brothers and sisters, I know a lot of their weaknesses and things like that.
所以对我来讲很困难的事情之一，就是我也了解到很多弟兄姐妹不同的软弱。
So sometimes it's very difficult to keep it confidential.
所以有的时候也可能很难好好的保密。
But thank God, my wife, she doesn't care to hear anything.
可是感谢神，我的太太她都不想听到这些。
She really never asked me, what's going on with these members, what's going on. She doesn't care.
她也不会问我说这些弟兄姐妹他们怎么样，因为她也不会在乎。
Because for her, actually, she doesn't want to hear anything that is negative.
因为对她来讲，她不想要听到任何负面的话。
And because of that, she helped me a lot not to share anything with her.
那也因为这样子，所以她也都可以让我对她分享。
Because sometimes when you know so much information, you want to share with everybody.
因为有时候你已经知道那么多的知识，你就想要分享给
Actually, we
很多
must
人。
we just hold ourselves and not to do this kind of stuff.
可是很重要的是，我们自己也需要不要做这种事
But
情。
instead, what should we do?
那我们应该要做什么？
And verse 8 again.
第8节。
Therefore, let us keep the feast not with old leaven, nor with leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and in truth.
所以我们守这节，不可用旧酵，也不可用恶毒邪恶的酵，只用诚实真正的无酵饼。
If you and I are sincere,
如果我们是诚实，
if we are truthful,
如果我们是说真话，
and then we get rid of the hypocrisy,
如果我们除掉这些假冒为善的事，
and we can see the false doctrines,
如果我们可以看到这些假道理，
but you and I must wanting to keep, what is truthful and what is sincere.
可是我们一定要愿意保留这些诚实真正的。
So this is the conclusion
所以这个结论
of the parable of the leaven.
这就是酵的这个比喻的结论。
Now let's go to the parable of the mustard seed.
我们现在要看芥菜种。
Mustard seed.
芥菜种。
Okay, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. If you look at this mustard seed, this is the mustard seed. It's very, very small.
芥菜种非常非常小。
It's pretty much if you look at a pen is like it's just at the point of a pen. That's how small this mustard seed is.
小到可能只是笔的笔芯。
Then if you go to the second slide, you can see, right, this mustard seed can become a tree this big.
那可是我们可以看到，那一颗芥菜种就可以长成这么大的树。
I mean, look at the people in the bottom.
我们
Right?
看到下面的人。
So how can a mustard seed, which is so small, and become so great?
那么小颗的芥菜种，为什么可以成为这么伟大的？
Actually, because the grace of God.
就是因为神的恩典。
For me, I love to plant things,
对我来讲，我很喜欢种东
and I'm
西。
always so amazed. How can I plant little seed that it can grow up to be so big?
我常常也都很惊讶，为什么可以种子那么小，可
Now,
是
for
长出
example,
那么
this
大？
mustard seed.
所以这个芥菜种，
I mean, where the branches come from?
这些树枝是从哪里来？
Where the tree trunk come from? This little seed, where does it come from?
那么小的种子，那树根是哪里来？
So that's why for me, I don't like to kill plants. I mean, I don't like to cut tree down and that kind of stuff because I'm just so amazed by God's, creation.
所以对我来讲，我就也很不喜欢砍树或者要摧毁掉任何植物，因为我真的很惊讶看到神的这种创造。
And all the things I have planted around my house or around the restaurant, I always buy them half dead.
那我房子或者是餐厅附近的那些植物，都是在他们已经快要死的时候买的。
First, when they're half dead, they're like 75% off.
因为快要死了，所以打折很多。
And second, I love to see that half dead tree to become something so healthy.
还有就是，我也很喜欢看那种本来已经快要死的植物，可是居然会变成健康。
And because I can't help but to be so amazed by God's creation.
因为我就是没有办法想象神的造为是多么的伟大。
Let's turn to Matthew chapter 13.
请看马太福音13章，
This parable is also very short.
这个比喻也非常短。
And it said here,
马太
verse 31 to verse 32,
13章31节到32节。
another parable he put forth to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. Verse 32.
32节，
Which indeed is the least of all the seed, but when it grown, it is greater than the herbs and become a tree, so that the birds of the air come and nest in its branches.
31节，他又设个比喻，对他们说：天国好像一粒芥菜种，有人拿去种在田里。32，这原是百种里最小的，等到长起来，却比各样的菜都大，且成了树，天上的飞鸟来宿在它的枝上。
The parable of this mustard seed.
这是芥菜种的比喻。
Actually, many Christian denominations view it to be very positive.
其实很多基督教教派他们觉得这是很正面的，
And they say the kingdom of God, in the beginning is very, very small.
所以他们就会说天国刚开始非常小，
Now, because of God's grace, it become very large.
现在因为神的恩典变得很大。
And because of this, the bird of the air, this means there's people come and being comforted by it by going to the branches.
然后他们就会说，那这些其他的鸟就会过来住在这个枝上。
But actually, that's not the right interpretation.
其实这个不是正确的解释。
And of course, let's not talk about other Christian denominations, just talking about us.
所以我们也不用谈到其他的教派，我们就用我们的教会来讲。
Next slide, please. If we look at this mustard seed,
如果我们看芥菜种，
say first, a man, he took it and sowed it in his field.
是有人拿去种在田里，
I mean, just think about the seed itself.
所以我们可以想那种子。
The seed, the man did not produce the seed.
这些人他们种子不是从人来的，
The man just took that seed and put it in his heart or put it in his field.
只是有人拿去种在田里，或是放在他心中。
And this seed is the least of all seeds.
这个种子是百种里最小的，
But when it's grown, it's greater than all the herbs and become a tree.
可是等到长起来，却比各样的菜都大。
If you look at, this mustard seed, it can do two things. If you want to train it to be an herb, be like a bushes, you also can do that.
如果我们看芥菜种，其实我们可以想象，如果你想要让这芥菜种成为只是植物小一点的植物也可以。
If you want to shape it to make a tree, you also can do that.
如果你要继续耕种它，让它成为一棵树也可以。
Just like many plants, many trees nowadays.
就像很多的植物一样。
For example, in Texas, the tree of Texas is the crepe myrtle trees.
比如说德州的树是一种树，
And they have different colors, pink, purple, all that kind of stuff.
有很多不同的颜色粉红色或者红色都有。
You also can train it to be a big bushes, right, or a big tree.
那你可以训练这种的植物成为是大一点的植物或者是一棵大树。
And look at point 4.
还有第4点，
The bird of the air nests in its branches.
天上的飞鸟来宿在它的枝上。
And what does the bird of the air represent?
那天上的飞鸟代表什么？
Actually, the birds of the air represent Satan.
其实天上的飞鸟代表撒旦。
So how should we interpret this parable?
所以我们要怎么来诠释这个比喻？
Sometimes you and I start off with such a humble heart.
有的时候我们有非常谦卑的心，
But because of God's blessing,
都是因为神的祝
because of
福，
God's grace,
因为神的恩典，
we became a big person.
我们就成为了更大的
Maybe
人。
God used us very mightily.
也许神常常利用我们，
Then what happened?
然后呢，
We don't watch ourselves.
我们不警醒自己，
And we allow Satan to live inside our heart.
我们允许撒旦住在我们的心。
And that's why this morning I'd like to share with you this parable.
所以今天早上我想要分享这个比喻。
And the man that I want to share is Gideon.
那我想要分享这个人就是基甸。
If we look at the life of Gideon,
如果我们看基甸的一生，
he's a perfect person to demonstrate a mustard seed.
他是一个很完美的例子来形容这个芥菜种。
And when we study this, you and I also need to be very careful.
当我们在研究这个时候，我们也要非常小心。
I noticed one thing between East Coast and West Coast.
我发现东岸跟西岸的不同。
A lot of members who first came to the East Coast, I think none of us are wealthy.
有很多信徒刚来到东岸的时候，我们都不太有钱。
And everything that we have, we work for.
那我们所有的都是我们努力的，
And we know it's the grace of God.
我们也知道是神的恩典。
But a lot of members in the West Coast, actually, they came here with money.
可是很多西岸的信徒，其实他们搬到西岸的时候就已经有钱，
So because of this, actually, the character can be a little bit different.
所以因为这样子，所以他们个性可能不太一样。
Why? Because when you grow up, you already have money, and then the way you look at things are very different.
因为当你长大的时候，你就已经一直都有钱，那你看事情也会不一样。
One time a youth came to me in Southern California.
有一次在南加州有一个青年就告诉我，
And he was so sad.
他非常的伤心。
And I asked him, why are you so sad?
我就问他，你为什么那么伤
He's like,
心？
my parents just only gave me $30,000 to buy a new car.
他就说，我父母只有给我3万块钱买一台新车。
Like, what?
我就说什么？
You're sad because your parents gave you only $30,000?
因为你爸妈只有给你3万块买一台新车，
And for
你就
me, I'm
伤
like,
心。
what's wrong with you?
对我来讲，就想你
And I said,
你怎么了？
$30,000, that's a lot of money.
3万块是很多钱。
Why did he say what he says?
他为什么会这样说？
Because he compared himself all the other youth. They have BMW, they have this, they have Tesla and all that kind of stuff, right? So you feel like I only can get a Camry.
因为他把自己跟其他的青年比较，那其他青年可能他们开宝马或者是个很好的车子，那他自己只能买便宜一点的车子。
Of course, you and I should never reach to have that kind of mentality.
当然，我们绝对不应该要有那种的思考。
Why? Because everything we have is truly a blessing from God.
因为所有我们有的都是神的恩典。
There's a sister, she always complains about money.
有一个姐妹，她常常在抱怨钱。
And I say to her, look what you have right now.
那我就跟她说，你看看你现在有什么？
You live in a condo that's over $1 million.
你住在一个这种房子里面，其实是价值超过100万。
You building a house over $4 million.
你要盖的一个房子要超过400万。
And your 3 children all go to private school, it costs about $80,000 a year.
你3个小孩都是上私立学校，而且1年学费要8万。
Okay, I said, why you complain you have no money?
所以我就跟他讲，你为什么要抱怨你没有钱
I？ said, look at this other family.
我就说你可以看另外一个家
There's
庭，
4 children in a family.
他们一家有4个孩
They
子，
live in a 2-bedroom apartment.
他们住在只有2个房间的公寓里。
And their children go to the junkiest school.
他们的小孩是去不好的学
And
区
then，she looked at me.
他就看了我。
She's like, oh yeah, you're right.
这个姐妹就说：“哦，对，
I'm
你
like,
说的
how can you
对。
not see that within yourself? ”
我就说：“你这样子自己看不出来吗？
Well, sometimes we just don't realize what we have, what kind of blessing that God have given to us.
有的时候我们真的不了解神是赐给我们多大的恩典。
So let's go to Judges, the book of Judges chapter 6.
请看士师记第6章，
The book of Judges chapter 6.
士师记第6章。
The book of Judges chapter 6.
士师记第6章，
Judges chapter 6, verse 1 to verse 6.
第6章第1节到第6节。
The book of Judges chapter 6, verse 1 to verse 6.
士师记第6章到第1节到第6节。
It says here, then the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord. So the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian for 7 years.
第1节，以色列人又行主眼中看为恶的事，主就把他们交在米甸人手里7年。
Really think about this.
我们要好好想这
We
个。
know the book of Judges, they go through the same cycle year after year.
我们知道是在士师记当中，他们一直经过的恶性循环
For。over 400 years, they go through exactly the same thing.
在过几年后，他们就再重新做同样的事。
First, they did evil in the sight of the Lord.
他们第一个就是行神眼中看为恶的事，
So God delivered them into the hands of the enemy.
神就把他们交在敌人手里。
And then what they do, they cry out to God.
然后他们就会哭了呼叫神
That's why in verse 2,
所以第2节
say, the hand of the Midian prevailed against Israel because of the Midianites. The children of Israel make themselves the dens, the caves, and the stronghold which are in the mountains.
米甸人压制以色列人，以色列人因为米甸人就在山中挖坑，挖洞，建造营寨。
I mean, who lives in dens, caves, and up in the mountain?
那是谁会住在山中的那种坑里面？
Those are animals.
都是动物，
So animals live in dens and caves in the mountain.
动物才会住在山洞。
So now with the Israelites, they live exactly like animals.
所以现在以色列人就住得像动物一样。
Why?
为什么？
Because they have sinned against God.
因为他们有犯罪
They
神，
did evil in the eyes of the Lord.
他们行在神眼中看为
And
恶
look
的
at verse
事。
3.
第3节，
So it was whenever Israel had sown, Midianite would come up, also Amalekites, and the people of the east would come up against them.
第3节，以色列人每逢撒种之后，米甸人、亚玛利人和东方人都上来攻打他们。
And we can see, the Midianites actually they represent Satan.
我们可以看出来，米甸人代表撒旦。
So whatever the chosen people try to sow, whatever they try to do, the enemy just come and destroy everything.
不管选民他们要做什么，这些敌人就会来攻打他们。
So that's why we look in verse 4.
第4节，
Then they would encamp against them and destroy the produce of the earth as far as Gaza, and leave no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor donkey.
第4节，对着他们安营，毁坏土产，直到加萨，没有给以色列人留下食物，牛羊驴也没有留下。
And verse 5 says, For they would come up with their livestock and their tent, coming as a numerous of locusts, both they and their camels were without number, and they would enter the land to destroy it.
第5节，因为那些人带着牲畜、帐篷来，像蝗虫那么多，人和骆驼无数，都进入国内，毁坏全地。
And then look at verse 6.
第6节，
So Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianite, and the children of Israel cried out to the Lord.
以色列人因米甸人的缘故，极之穷乏，就呼求神。
These are the chosen people of God.
这些是神的选民，
They worship the true and living God.
他们敬拜
Why do they
真
live
神。
this kind of lives?
他们为什么活这种生活？
Why do they live in dens and caves?
为什么他们要住在山洞？
And everything they try to do, it never produce anything.
那所有他们要做的都没有办法收成。
With the oxen, with the donkey, all these things, the enemy just continues to destroy them.
敌人都一直攻击他们，也没有给他们牛羊驴。
Why?
为什么？
Because they did evil in the eyes of the Lord.
因为他们行神眼中看为恶的事。
This is something that you and I must completely refocus as the church as a whole.
这也是我们也需要注重的作为神的儿女，
Because we don't want to live this kind of life.
因为我们不想要活这种生活，
We don't want to give victory over to Satan.
我们不想要让撒旦得胜，
So we must not live a life to sin against God.
所以我们绝对不能行在神眼中看为恶的事。
So because of this, look at the Israelites. They were greatly disturbed. They were greatly impoverished, and their life is just no meaning at all.
所以那时候以色列人他们非常的穷乏，而且生活也没有意义。
And only then they cry out to the Lord.
那只有在那个时候才呼求
But why you
神
have。to go through so much suffering before you cry out to the Lord?
那为什么要经过那么多痛苦才能够呼叫神？
This is just human nature.
这就是人的本性。
I mean, they shouldn't live this kind of life in the first place,
他们本来就不应该过这种生活，
but they did.
可是他们却做了。
And because of this, they cry out to the Lord, and then the Lord heard their cry.
因为他这样子，所以他们也呼叫神，那神也听到了。
And we also can understand how much mercy that God have upon them.
我们也可以了解到神对他们是有多么的慈爱。
Let's go to chapter 6, verse 11 and 12.
请看第6章11节、12节。
Now really focus on Gideon. The first half of his life, let's focus on Gideon.
所以我们现在前半段先注重在基甸上。
Verse 11.
11节，
Now the angel of the Lord came and sat under the terebinth tree, which was in Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, while his son Gideon thrust wheat in the winepress in order to hid it from the Midianites.
11节，神的使者到了俄弗拉，坐在亚比以谢族人约阿施的橡树下。约阿施的儿子基甸正在酒榨那里打麦子，为要防备缅甸人。
So Gideon, he was a mighty man of valor.
所以基甸他是大能的勇士，
But before God used him,
可是，在神用他之前，
what was he doing?
他在做什么？
He was thrusting wheat in the winepress.
他是在酒榨那里打麦子，
So now actually, he was a nobody.
所以他其实是一个不重要的人
And he's just trying to hide himself from the Midianites.
他可能只是要从米甸人那里防备。
If he's truly a mighty man of valor,
如果他是真正的大能的勇
why didn't he
士，
go and fight against his enemy?
那他不会就直接去打他的敌人吗？
Why is he hiding from his enemy?
他为什么会从这里防备他的敌人？
Because God was not with him.
因为刚开始神没有与他同
So
在，
that's why for us,
所以对我们来讲，
really, it doesn't matter how mighty we are,
不管我们有多少的
how
能力，
strong we are.
我们有多强壮，
Without the grace of God, you and I cannot go anywhere.
如果没有神的恩典，我们哪里都不能去。
And this is the truth.
这也是真理。
No, there's a sister, she shared with me.
有一个姐妹，她跟我分享，
She has 2 sons.
她有2个儿子。
And the first son is super smart.
第一个儿子非常聪明，
And when he finished high school, he got all kind of reward.
他那时候高中毕业，他就有得到各种的奖。
the second son is very slow.
第二个儿子他学习比较慢。
If his second son get a C, everybody would be happy.
如果第二个儿子他成绩是 C， 大家都很快乐。
So because of this, the sister just focused on her first son.
所以因为这样子那个姐妹她就一直专注在她的
And
大儿子。
and she said to me, yeah, I mean, now she understand that was the biggest mistake.
她也就跟我讲，她现在了解到这是她最大的错误。
And then her first son went to Ivy League school.
那她大儿子有去念常春藤的
And
大
after he
学，
finished school, every company offered him jobs.
然后大学毕业以后，所有的公司也都要找他给他工作，
But he has no appreciation.
可是他却没有任何感恩
He just feel, yeah, okay, I'm expected for all this company to offer me all this job.
他觉得这些都是很自然的，本来这些公司就应该要给他工作。
But the younger brother,
可是他的弟弟，
after he finished college, he go to a very not so good a college.
他大学也不是念特别好的学校，
And after he graduated, no company offered him any job.
然后他大学毕业以后也没有任何一个公司要给他工作，
And finally, a no-name company offered him a job.
然后只有最后一个没有名字的公司就有要应征他，
And he was so happy.
他就非常的快
He
乐
was，praising God and all that kind of stuff.
他也非常感谢神。
Then he even dedicated himself to go to different seminars to be counselor and things like that because he really thanked God for the job, right?
他也甚至愿意去参加不同教会的活动，而且要想好好的服侍神。
So the older brother, the first opportunity he has, he just left the family, right, to do what he wants to do.
所以那个大儿子他只要一有机会，他就已经也离开他的家，然后就去做他工作。
But the second son, he just want to stay close to his parents.
可是这个小儿子就想要靠近他的父母，
And the second son is very faithful to God.
而且这个小儿子也非常的
And he
对神
always
信实
give，grace and give thanks to God.
他也常常都会感谢神。
And now her number one son,
所以他本来是他最喜爱的儿子，
sometimes she talked to him and he hang up the phone on her.
有时候他跟这个儿子讲电话，这个儿子自己就马
Then he's
上会
like,
挂
I
电
do
话，
whatever I want.
他就会说我
I
想要
need
做
to
怎样
live
就
a
怎
good
样，
life. I need to experience life.
我需要好好的享受这个生命。
And then, not only that, but now he's going out drinking with his friends.
那不止这样，这个大儿子也会跟他的朋友出去喝酒。
And every time the mother says, son, go to church, son, go to church, but he doesn't care.
那每次那妈妈想要跟大儿子说去教会吧，他也都不在乎。
So she said now she really appreciates her second son.
所以这个妈妈也就说，她非常的现在也非常非常爱她二儿
Even
子。
though he's not too smart,
虽然他不是太聪明，
but he's really God grace to her
可是真的是神给他的恩典，
because he's the one that's taking care of her.
因为是他在照顾他的妈妈
And，he never hang up the phone on her
而且他也从来不会
And he
自己
always
挂电
pray for
话
her，
他也都会为他祷
and
告，
comfort her.
也会安慰他。
And she said, I really make a big mistake.
那他就说：“我真的犯下一个很
Why?
大的
Because
错误，
she treated her first son to be someone is like a god, right? That's what she said to me.
因为他就对我说，那他这个妈妈觉得他已经把他大儿子像一个神这
She
样
said,
子
it's
照
not
顾
my，son's fault.
他就说也不是我儿子
It's
的
my
错
fault，
是我的错，
I make him to be like that.
是我让他这样子。
So that's why for us, when we think now her son, super smart, making a lot of money, what is he doing? Going out drinking and never come to church again.
所以让我们想想看，这个大儿子虽然他可能在外面是很成功，那也有一个好工作，可是他会和朋友出去喝酒，也不喜欢去教会了。
No, look at Gideon.
那我们看基
He's
甸，
a mighty man of valor.
基甸这也是大能的
What
勇
is he doing
士。
before God used him?
可是神用他之前，他在做什么
He？was threshing wheat on the winepress.
他在酒榨那里打麦子。
And then look at verse 12.
第12
And the
节，
angel of the Lord appeared to him and said to him, The Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor.
神的使者向基甸显现，对他说：“大能的勇士啊，神与你同在。
And then we can see here in verse 13,
”13节，
Gideon said to him, Oh my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why has all this thing happened to us? And where are all his miracles which our fathers told us about? Say, did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken us and delivered us into the hands of the Midianites.
13节，基甸说：“主啊，神若与我们同在，我们何至遭遇这一切事呢？我们的列祖不是向我们说，神领我们从埃及上来吗？他那样奇妙的作为在哪里呢？现在他却丢弃我们，将我们交在米甸人手中。”
You can see the tone of Gideon when he spoke to the angel.
我们这里基甸的语气，我们可以看得出来，
He just feels, I have heard all this testimony from our forefathers about how mighty God is, but where is he right now?
他就感觉到我已经从我的列祖听到所有这些故事，神有拯救他的人民，可是现在神在哪里
And then verse 14,
？14节，
Then the Lord turned to him,
神观看基甸说
and said, Go in the might of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of Midianite. Have I not sent you?
你靠着你这能力去从米甸人手里拯救以色列人，不是我差遣你去的吗？
As you can see, actually, with Gideon, God said, Look, you can go on this mighty power of yours.
所以神这里就对基甸说：“你可以以这你能力去米甸人手。”
Actually, I think on the slide, the verses are wrong. It's not 11 and 12, right? It's 15 and 16. 15 and 16.
15节到16节。
Verse 15.
15节。
So he said to him, O my Lord, how can I save Israel? Indeed, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house.
15节，基甸说：“主啊，我有何能拯救以色列人呢？我家在马拉西支派中是至贫穷的，我在我父家是至微小的。”
Look at his mentality.
我们看他的思考。
God said, Look, you in these mighty hands of yours, go and save Israel.
神说：“你可以靠着你这能力去拯救以色列人。”
I mean, can you imagine this, right? The Israelites, right? They're under such poverty, they're under such distress. Now you can become a hero to save them.
我们可以想想看，本来以色列人他们已经是非常的贫乏了、贫穷，那可是神现在想要他们想要叫基甸成为英雄。
But what did he say?
那他说什么？
How can I save Israel?
我有何能拯救以色列人？
He said Manasseh is the smallest tribe among all the tribes.
马拉西支派是至贫穷的，
And within Manasseh, my family is the smallest one.
而且在马拉西支派当中，我在我父家是至微小的。
And in my father's house, I am the least one.
所以我在我父家已经都是最小的。
He's a very small mustard seed.
他是一个非常小的芥菜
And
种
he，saw himself as a small mustard seed.
他也看自己是一个小芥
This
菜
is
种。
a great beginning.
这是一个很好的开始。
Really, just like many of us.
就像我们很多人，
If you and I fall from the grace of God,
如果我们已经有缺愧神的荣耀，
quite often because of our pride,
可能很多时候是因为我们骄傲，
quite often we no longer see ourselves as that small mustard seed.
或者我们很多时候已经不觉得我们自己是小芥菜种。
No, there's a brother.
有一个弟兄
He's very gifted at leading Bible study.
他很有能力领查经
So because of this, the council used him to lead Bible study all the time.
因为这样子，所以他也常常被安排要领查经
And I share with the council, this is not a good idea.
那我也跟职务会建议说，这不是一个好的主
Why?
意，
Because it's not good for him, it's also not good for the members.
因为对他不好，然后对其他的信徒也不好。
I was not from the church.
因为我不是那个地方教会，
But they say he's so gifted in leading Bible study.
那他们就说，因为他领查经是非常有能力的，
And members only go to the Bible study if he's leading.
那而且如果只有他在领查经，才会有信徒要去他们
I
参加
say,
聚会。
first, that is the problem.
那我就说，那就是第一个问题。
Okay? Members should not go to Bible study only when he's leading.
当信徒要去查经的时候，是只有那个人在领查经才去的话，
And
这
then
又
the
不正
rest of the
确。
time, if someone else leading, they would not go.
那其他时候，如果是别人在领会的话，他们就不去。
So because of this, and then they allow him to lead every session.
所以因为这样子的话，所以那每一个查经的聚会都是他领
It's just like putting gas on fire.
这样子就好像是在火上加油。
So later on, we realized that the brother became so proud.
那我们后来也发现，这个弟兄他变得很
He
骄傲
even，said, if I don't lead Bible study, no one would come.
他也会说，如果我不领查经的话，没有人会来，
And no one can lead Bible study the way I do.
那也没有人可以像我这样领
So when
查
they
经。
saw this, the council members reduced him by not to lead Bible study as much.
所以当他们也看到的话，这些职务会也就安排不会让他那么多次领查
Then he
经，
became very upset
然后他就开始不高兴，
when saying all these things.
他也就会很说不客气的话
Then。when he's not there, the members are not there.
那然后后来他不在的话，他也会说他不
So
在
he
的话
left，the church,
弟兄姐妹不
and the
在，
members who follow him also left the church.
就后来他就离开教会，然后又有一些信徒跟着他离开教会，
This is not a good situation.
这是很不好的的现象。
Really make sure inside our heart,
所以我们一定要确认在我们心中，
we should be very, very humble.
我们应该要非常的谦卑，
Why? Because everything we have is a grace from God.
因为所有我们有的都是神来
You know,
的。
I used to be proud of myself that I remember a lot of things.
我以前也很骄傲，然后也发现到我记得很多事
Now,
情。
one of the things that I feel like I'm good at, that I can remember a lot of things.
因为我以前就觉得我记忆很好，
But now, if I gave sermon last week, and then I don't remember what I gave for sermon last week.
可是现在的话，其实如果我上个礼拜有领会，我不记得我上礼拜说了什
And
么。
sometimes when my wife asks me to do something, I forget.
然后有的时候我太太叫我做事情，我就会忘记。
And I say, oh wow, as human beings, we are very pitiful.
然后我就想到人是很可怜的，
Even little things like remembering, when you get older, you can't remember anymore.
像年纪大一点的时候，就会觉得真的记性很不好。
Really, it's God's grace.
这真的全部都是
So
神
that's
的
why
恩惠。
whatever was given to us, we must be humble. Why? Because it's from God.
所以我们所有的，我们都需要谦卑，因为都是从神来的。
Just like Gideon.
就像基甸，
You can see, say, look, I'm the weakest in my father's house, and my father's house is the weakest of all the tribe of Manasseh.
基甸他这里就说：“我是马拿西支派中至贫穷的，我在我父家是至微小的。
Really, he start off as a mustard seed. ”
他开始的时候就是个芥菜种。
Now let's go to Judges chapter 8, verse 1 to verse 3.
请看士师记第8章第1节到第3节。
Judges chapter 8, verse
士师
3.
记第
1,
8
to
章
3.
第1节到第3节。
Now men of Ephraim say to him, Why have you done this to us by not calling us when you went to fight a Midianite? And they reprimand him very sharply.
第1节，以法莲人对基甸说：“你去与米甸人征战，没有召我们同去，为什么这样待我们呢？”他们就与基甸大大的争吵。
If you know the Ephraimites,
如果我们知道以法莲人，
they are lazy
他们懒惰，
and they always complain.
他们常常抱怨。
So here they say to Gideon, Look, why didn't you call us when you went out to fight against the Midianites?
所以他们这里就对基甸说：“你去与米甸人征战，为什么没有召我们去
Is it true what they're saying?？”
他们说的是真的吗？
No, in chapter 7, verse 24, it says, Then Gideon sent messenger throughout all the mountain of Ephraim, right?
这完全不是正确，因为24节第7章就基甸打发人走遍以法莲人山地，说：“你们要下来攻击米甸人。
If you and I were Gideon, ”
如果你和我是基甸，
knowing these Ephraimites, they are lazy, they want to take things that not belong to them, then when they say this, you feel, look, I already sent messengers, right? Why didn't you come out? No, he didn't say anything, right?
如果都已经了解到以法莲人他们自己的错，他们就说这样子说没有招他们的话，我们一定也会生气。
Instead, in verse 2, so he said to them, What have I done now in comparison with you?
可是第2节基甸却说：“我所行的岂能比你们所行的呢？”
He knew they were wrong.
他知道他们是错的，
Well, he knew that.
他也了解。
But for him, he said, Look, okay, compare you to me, I'm nothing.
可是他却说：“跟你们比较，我什么都不是。
He said, Is not the gleaning of the grapes of Ephraim better than the vintage of Abasa?
以法莲拾取剩下的葡萄，不强过亚比以谢所摘的葡萄吗？”
What he's saying that the little things that Ephraim have is greater than all that Gideon has.
他说的意思是，以法莲人所有的很小的东西是远超过所有基甸有的。
And look at verse 3.
第3节，
God has delivered into your hands the prince of Midian, Orab, Zeb, and here. And what was I able to do in comparison with you?
神已将米甸人的2个首领俄利和希伯交在你们手中，我所行的岂能比你们所行的呢？
You can see how humble Gideon was.
所以我们可以看到基甸他非常谦卑。
For me, when I read this, I get upset already. Like, why these Ephraimites? They're like troublemakers,
对我来讲，我看到这经节的时候，我就已经生气了，就想说这些以法莲人实在
But
是
Gideon, he answered them so graciously.
可是基甸他却对他们非常好好的说话。
What do I have comparison to what you have?
我有的跟你们怎么样比较？
God have blessed you with all these princes stuff. You know what? I have nothing.
神已经有那么多的恩典赐给你们这2个首领，我们什么都没有。
And then it said their anger was subsided.
然后说完以后，以法莲人的怒气就消了。
And then after this,
这过后，
God used Gideon mightily.
神也就大大的利用基甸。
I mean, think about what God used him to do.
所以我们想想看，他利用基甸做什么？
God destroyed all his enemy through the hands of Gideon.
神他把所有的这些敌人都已经交在基甸的手中。
And the last battle they had,
他们最后一次征战的时候，
remember that Gideon, he chose only a certain amount of people.
基甸那时候只有选一些人，
And why?
为什么？
Because God tell him, hey, so send those who are fearful and those who do not drink the water correctly, send them home.
神已经告诉他们说，这些人如果他们不是这样子喝水，还是这样子做，他们就要回家。
So Gideon became a big man in Israel during that time.
所以后来基甸他在以色列人中成为很大的，
And the whole Israel know who Gideon was.
全以色列也都知道基甸是谁。
But this mustard seed now become a big tree.
所以这芥菜种成为了大树。
And then remember, the bird of the air, it did not, go on top of the branches, but it goes underneath the branches.
我们要想到那些天上的鸟，它们没有到枝上，可是是到地上了。
And pride is like this.
那骄傲也就这样。
Really, pride is like internal bleeding.
骄傲就很像内出
If
血。
you and I are not careful,
如果我们不小心，
we'll bleed to death even without knowing it.
我们可能会内出血，甚至到死亡，我们都不知道。
And that's what happened to Gideon.
对基甸就是。
First, how do we know that he was proud?
我们怎么知道他有骄傲？
Look at chapter 8, verse 31.
第8章31节。
8:31.
第8章31节。
And his concubine, who was in Shechem, also bore him a son, whose name is called Abimelech.
31节，他的妾住在示剑，也给他生了一个儿子基甸，与他起名叫亚比米勒。
You know, we know that when people ask him, hey, rule over us. You, your son, your grandson rule over us. He said, no. I'm not going to rule over you.
刚开始如果是要求他想要做他们的首领，然后领导他们所有的人，他就会说我不要。
He said, God will rule over you.
他就说神会做你们的领
But
导。
now he has a son,
可是现在还有个儿子，
and his son's name is Abimelech.
他儿子名字叫亚比米勒。
And what does Abimelech mean?
亚比米勒的名字是什么意
My
思？
father is king.
我爸爸是王。
I mean, who would name their son, my father is king?
有谁会给他们儿子这样子取名？
Well, for example, if I have a son,
比如说，如果我有儿子，
and I name him Woody is handsome,
那我给他取名叫 Woody 帅。
even though people say Woody is so handsome.
虽然很多人就说Woody 你好帅。
Oh, no.
没有。
I'm not handsome. Look at me, I'm ugly.
我不帅，其实我很丑。
Then the first son I have, I name him Woody is handsome.
那如果我有生了第一个儿子，我就给我这大儿子取名说
Why would I
Woody 帅。
name him that if I'm not proud?
如果我不骄傲，我怎么会给我儿子取这
No,
种名
quite
字？
often, yes. Now, outwardly, we always feel like, yeah, we are humble, this and that, right? But actually, look at the inner man to see how humble we are.
所以很多时候可能外表看出来是好像很谦卑，可是我们内心要想想看，我们到底有没有谦卑？
And look at verse 30.
第30节，
He had 70 sons and many wives.
他有70个亲生的儿子，因为还有许多的妻。
Why did he have all those things?
他为什么那么多东西？
Because he's a big man.
因为他是个大人。
And let's go to verse 22.
22节
Let's go to verse 22.
，22节。
Then the men of Israel said to Gideon, rule over us, both you and your sons, and your grandson also. You have delivered us from the hand of Midian.
22节，以色列人对基甸说：“你既救我们脱离米甸人的手，愿你和你的儿孙管理我们。
This was the first problem. ”
这是第一个问题。
The first problem, the people did not see that God was the one that delivered them from their enemies.
第一个问题就是以色列人他们没有看到是神脱离他们，是让他们脱离米甸人的手。
Instead, they say Gideon was the one.
他们是对基甸说：“是你。”
But Gideon should have rebuked them during that time.
那时候基甸就应该要责备他们。
I did not deliver you from your enemies.
我不管，不是我脱离米甸人的手，
God was the one that delivered you.
是神脱离，让你们脱离
But he
的。
didn't say that.
可是他没有说，
But instead, he says something that's very beautiful.
他只是说听起来很好的话。
But Gideon said to them, verse 23,
23节，
I will not rule over you,
我不管理你们，
nor shall my son rule over you.
我的儿子也不管理你
The
们，
Lord shall rule over you.
唯有神管理你们。
Is what he's saying, is it true what he feels inside his heart?
他这样子说的，他心里面是一样吗？
Of course not.
当然不是
So。that's why you and I, when it comes to being proud, we must not deceive ourselves.
所以你和我们也一样，我们不能欺骗自己。
Sometimes we say things,
有时候我们说一些
but
事，
inside we are far from it.
可是心里面是完全脱
Especially
离
when
的
it，comes to being proud.
尤其是有关骄傲。
So Gideon,
所以基甸
that's why but he said, you know what? God will rule over you.
他说神会管理你们，
But do me a favor.
可是我求你们。
Go, right? He said, here, do me a favor.
他这里说我求
Verse
你们。
24.
24节，
Then Gideon said to them, I would like to make a request of you,
我有一件事求你们，
that each of you would give me the earring from his plunder, for they had golden earring because they were Ishmaelites.
请你们个人将所夺的耳环给我。原来仇敌是以实玛利人，都是戴金耳环的。
And look what the people do.
那这些人他们就怎么做？
You know, the people, of course, you cannot blame on the people.
那我们也不能全部怪这些
Sometimes the
人。
people say things that they don't really mean it,
有时候很多这些人他们说的话也
or say things they do not understand it.
也不是他们了解，或者他们
But
是故
we
意
as a
的。
listener,
可是我们听到的时候，
we have to give praise to God.
我们一定要感谢神。
There's a pastor.
有一个传道
He's not too gifted in giving sermon,
他讲道可能不是特别有能力，
but there's one time God was with him.
可是有一次神与他同在，
So when he go up and give sermon,
所以他上去讲道的
and
时候，
afterward,
讲完以后，
members came to him.
就有信徒来，
Oh, pastor, your sermon was very edifying.
就说传道你之前讲的那个道真的很 很有造就。
Then he said, thank God, thank God.
他就说感谢神，感谢
Then the
神。
first time he said thank God, he really meant it. He thanked God.
那他第一次说感谢神，真的
Then
是
the
感谢
second
神
night,。
然后第二个晚
And he
上，
came down.
他下来以
The
后
member，said, oh, your sermon is very edifying.
就有信徒又说，哦，你之前正道非常有造就。
And he said, thank God.
他就说感谢神。
But inside his heart is a little, it's like, oh yeah, I was pretty good.
可是他心里面其实就想一点
And
点
the
想
third
说
time,，
哦，我还不错。
he
第
came
三次
down,
他又下来以后
People，say exactly the same thing to him.
其他人又说一模一样的话。
But this time, even though he said thank God,
这一次虽然他口中也是
but
说感
inside
谢
his heart,
神，
this is what he shared with me.
可是他心里面他后来就跟我
Inside
分
his heart,
享，
he said,
他心里面就说，
it's me, I'm pretty good.
哦，对啊，我是真的不错
And。the fourth night,
然后第4个晚
he
上，
went up,
他再上去以后，
he was so confused.
他就很困惑，
He couldn't understand what he's supposed to say or to speak.
他都已经不知道他在说什么了。
And then the time he had to repent, right? Because he just feel, oh, God is not with me, right? He realized that very quickly.
那他马上就需要跟神悔改，因为他就发现到这是骄傲
But thank God from that, he learned from it.
可是感谢神，从那一次还
So
也
that's
就
why
有学
sometimes we
习
say
到。
something, but inside we feel different thing.
所以有时候也许我们口中说出的话跟我们心
I
中不
remember
一
two
致。
pastors went out to cast out demons.
我记得有一次有2个传道要去赶鬼，
And then the person who possessed the evil spirit
那有一个人因为他身上有被鬼
say
附
to the one
身
of the pastor,
他就告诉其中一个
say,
传
oh
道
yeah, yeah, I'm very afraid of you.
就说我很害怕你，
You are good.
我很怕你，因为你很
Now
强，
you read the Bible, you pray all the time.
你会读经，常常祷
But
告。
this other pastor, he's nothing. He doesn't pray, doesn't read the Bible.
另外这个传道他都不会祷告，不会读经。
If you were the pastor getting praise from this person,
如果你是这个传道，那听到这些
how
好
would you
话，
feel?
你会有什么样的感觉？
You feel like, yeah, yeah, it's true. I pray a lot, I read a lot.
你可能就会想说，哦，是真的啊，我也常常读经祷告
But thank God the pastor didn't think like that.
可是感谢神，那个传道没有那样
Instead,
想
he，say, look, you are a liar.
他反而就说你是骗子，
He said, in the name of Jesus Christ, cast you out.
奉主耶稣圣名，要邪灵离开你。
But can you imagine if he thought, the pastor thought to himself, yeah, I'm much better than this other pastor, then there's no way he can cast out the demon.
我们可以想象吗？如果我们是传道，然后就这样子有骄傲的话，那也没有办法赶鬼。
So here we can see that, Gideon asked for the people really nicely. Yeah, God will rule over you, but do me a quick favor. Just, give me all the golden earrings, stuff like that. What did he do with it? He make an effort out of it.
所以基甸他虽然口中他说是只有神要管理你们，可是居然他后来用了这些金，然后做了以佛德。
You can see, how much gold that they receive. Look at verse 26.
26节我们看到他得到多少的金子。
Now the weight of the golden earring that they requested was 1,700 shekels of gold. That is huge, so many gold, right?
金耳环这重1700舍克勒金子是非常重的。
And beside the crescent ornaments, pendants, purple robe, all this kind of stuff. So they gave freely to Gideon.
此外还有那么多的月环、耳坠，这些所有的他们都给了基甸。
What did he do with it?
那他做了什么？
He make it into an ephod.
他制造了一个以佛德。
If you look at the ephod here, this ephod, only the priest, right? Only the priest can wear this ephod.
如果我们看到这以佛德，其实是只有祭司才能
Why did
穿戴
Gideon
的。
why did he make this ephod?
那为什么基甸要这个以佛德
Look at verse 27.
？27节。
Then Gideon making it into an ephod and set it up in his city.
27节说，基甸以此制造一个以佛德，设立在本城俄弗拉。
So why did he set it in his city?
所以他为什么放在他的城市？
Why he didn't set it in the other cities?
为什么不在其他的城市？
Because everyone who come to his city,
因为这样每一个人到这个城市，
when they see this ephod,
他们看到这个以佛
they
德，
know that Gideon the one that delivered them from the hand of the Midianites.
他们就知道是基甸他拯救以色列人。
And this one, the bird of the ear, right, just nest inside the branches.
这就像天上的鸟，他们都到枝上了。
And for him, he was clueless.
对他来讲，他也不懂。
He was not clueless, but he knows. But the thing is, outwardly, he's a great judge, and everybody look at him to be a deliverer. But actually, within himself, he knows that the things that he did was not right.
所以从外表看起来，好像他做了这些那么多好事，可是其实从他内心他自己也知道，他做的是错误的。
And look at the second half of verse 27.
27节，
And all Israel played a harlot with it there.
后来以色列人拜那以弗德行了邪淫。
Hey, the people give him the earrings. The people want him to rule. I see. Gideon, why didn't Gideon say, yes, fine, I rule over you? Right?
所以那些人他们都奉献给基甸，然后给他金耳环。基甸为什么不讲说 我就做你们的
Because he already ruled over them without them knowing it.
管理，因为他其实已经管理了他们，他们都不知
So
道。
when people say rule over us, for him it's like, I already rule over you guys. That's why when I ask you to give me the earrings that we all give to me, why? Because I rule over you already.
所以当这些人他们都说愿你和你的儿孙管理我们基甸，他其实已经了解到他已经管理了他们，所以就告诉他们说，
So
就
don't
给
let
我这
people
些金
fool
耳
us.
环。
Sometimes they say, oh no, God will rule over you. No. Sometimes in here really is so evil.
所以我们不要被欺骗，想说神就会这样子做这些人的主。其实有时候他们内心是邪恶的。
So the Israelites played the harlot with it there and became a snare to Gideon and his household.
以色列人拜那以弗得行的邪淫，这就做了基甸和他全家的网罗。
And what happened to all these 70 sons?
那所有这些儿子呢
They all died.
？70个儿子，他们后来全部死，
They all died.
他们全死。
Why? Because of the pride of Gideon.
为什么？就是因为基甸的骄傲
He。started off with a little mustard seed.
他刚开始是一个小芥菜种，
At the end, he became a big tree.
到最后他成了个大树。
But the problem, he allowed the bird of the air nest right in that tree.
可是他却允许了天上的鸟来宿在枝子上。
And because of this, his whole family, all the genealogy was destroyed.
那因为这样子，他的全家后的后裔也都被摧毁。
Really, pride is a wicked thing.
所以骄傲是很邪恶的
If
事。
we're not careful, we destroy all of us.
如果我们不小心，会毁灭我们一切。
So that's why the parable of the mustard seed.
所以这芥菜种的比喻，
Make sure that you and I continually be that little mustard seed.
我们一定要确认，我们继续成为那个小的芥菜种。
Even though we can be grown to be a big tree,
就算我们可以被长成为大树，
but we have to remember in the beginning, we are the small mustard seed. Because of God's grace, that's why we can grow and become so big.
我们还是要记得，我们曾经是那小的芥菜种，都是因为神的恩典，我们才可以成长。
Now let's all rise and sing one hymn.
请起立唱诗
293.
292首，
293.
292首。